The following footage was recorded in January 2020 before COVID changed the way we traveled. February on Valentine's Day, I arrived in Johannesburg, South Africa. Since I was already on the continent, I asked a few of my African friends which places they recommended me to visit while there. Johannesburg, Joburg, Josie was one of the most common responses from them all. This city is filled with history, liveliness, and future developments that the locals hope will improve its economy. After my arrival, I was taken to the apartment that I rented on Airbnb.com in the Maboneng district. It had all the amenities that a solo traveler like me would need in a studio apartment. It had a shower. It had a cute little itty-bitty oven. It had a refrigerator, a microwave, TV, and internet, even though the internet did have a weak signal. But that actually turned out to be a good thing because it made me set out to explore the city sooner rather than later. After settling in, I decided to explore my surroundings, and what do you know? Right around the corner from my Airbnb was a hair salon. And since my hair was getting a bit dusty, it was time to change it up. She's so crazy. She said, I like your hair. I want to play like this all day long. She is crazy. She is massaging my scalp and it feels so good. Like I'm about to go to sleep. Don't look at these bags under my eyes. I've been traveling. She is massaging my scalp. I'm not even gonna lie. I had been so exhausted from traveling that this felt really, really good. I'm putting her in my suitcase. She's coming back with me. The beauticians here were just beautiful inside and out, and they even taught me about the local popular music called amapiano. It's fire. I like this song. This shop is amazing. She's gonna do my eyelashes. And Josie, let's see what they look like afterwards. Yeah, that's how she's been talking to me. I don't know what it is about us black women, but when we get together, doesn't matter what your age is, if you got the right attitude and you are around people like total strangers, they're gonna act like your auntie, your mama, your sister, your cousin, and it's just so beautiful. I love our culture and our heritage. And sis hooked me up in Josie.
Frontal way.
So after spending all day at the salon, it was time for me to go get dinner. And I went further down the street to this meat shop that also was a burger joint. And it's called BoyMeatsGirl. And I bought a burger and some fries and took it back to the Airbnb. I really love the design and the feel of this place.
Sit down, let's try to take it home.
Growing up as a preacher's kid, whenever my family traveled, we'd find a church to go to. And even now in my 30s, as I travel the world, I've continued this family tradition. So I tried to record as much as I possibly could, but there was this one song that made me put everything down and throw my hands up in worship. After church, I decided to continue on my journey of exploring the city, and I used my city sightseeing tour bus ticket that I had for a 2-day tour. And since it was Sunday, I just decided to keep going and see what this beautiful city had to offer.
Gamble girl.
So this was my first time in the casino. What to expect.
So I've actually never been in a casino before. Of course, no, I'm not gonna gamble because I ain't finna lose all my money. Never been in one before, and it is interesting to me. It's really, really, really cool.
As our pit stop was ending, it was time to continue on the tour.
This is one of the biggest stadium we have. This one, it's F&B Stadium.
What did they play there?
World Cup.
Oh.
There's a board here says welcome to Soweto. If you want to jump off, take a quick picture. To the suburbs as a place for Indians. Next to the Indians, there is a place for colored. A colored in South Africa, you are not derogative. It's just a mixed race. But we don't say a mixed race, you say a color.
Wow.
Because if you say a mixed race, you are very derogative.
Wow.
You need to say a color. We have robots.
You call them robots? They're not goats? What do they call that?
Kids fattening center.
The Kids Fattening Center. KFC. That's funny.
We've got shopping malls. We've got university down there. We've got all government facilities.
As the tour guide continued to tell us about the story of the city, we came upon the historical Orlando Towers, and man, it was a sight to behold. And of course, while we were there were some street dancers who wanted to show us what they was working with. As their routine ended, we continued on our tour to the next stop.
This is the biggest stadium inside Soweto.
Oh, okay.
So that picture, there was a snapshot by Sam Zima on June 16, 1976. The snapshot is taken right here in the street. And it was probably as that they didn't want to go to Mandela. So here is one of the subjects they were taught in the schools, the metal works. So our uncles would make figurines, toys like this, just like these figurines. So here are the students, this side with 𝗥𝗘𝗎𝗖𝗞.
Ah.
Is the policeman, his police dog.
Wow. As we left the Hector Pietersen Museum, we continued on the area where Nelson Mandela's house was now turned into a museum. To be in this historical global leader's house, it was, well, it left me speechless. After spending some time in Mandela's house, it was time for us to head on to the next spot. But not before we got some traditional African dance in the street, baby. And boy, did we ever. The next place on my list to visit was the Apartheid Museum. And it was on this beautiful day that the Apartheid Museum selected me to be a white woman, where I would be able to enter into the Europeans only section of the museum. Before I left Joburg, I was able to explore the new developmental area, and the Uber driver was so kind to give me some information about the developments.
These are offices or Salon offices, but the biggest offices in Sandton done discover.
Oh wow!
I don't know how many basement.
When were these buildings built? They look very new.
That one they built it was last year.
Wow.
It's new. That one is this one it was last year again.
Wow.
So this one is good. Shops, restaurants, the people they are working here, they don't have to go to Sandton City to go to buy food. There's everything here, shop, grocery, they can buy anything.
Wow.
So them are Sandton City, Mandela Square, other side.
Oh wow.
The 5.5 days that I spent in this picturesque city just really didn't seem like it was enough. So I guess that means I'll have to come back in the near future.